All right, welcome into NFL Live. You know Josina Anderson, two-time Super Bowl champ, Damien Woody, and over on the end, our front office insider, he is Mike Tannenbaum. So we have Jason Witten out of the booth, back with the Dallas Cowboys. What do you expect in year one coming back to football, Mike?
You know, Jack, I think his greatest contributions will be in terms of his intangibles, his leadership. You know, he's been a Cowboy his whole career. You know, he's going to lead by example, how to work in the offseason, how to take care of your body, how to study. So I think he can have an impact on this team really as much off the field as on the field.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the days of Jason Witten leading the team in reception or receiving yards, those are over with. But I think where he can have his biggest impact is just showing guys how to be professionals. Again, like Mike said, just taking care of their bodies, doing the little things that I think will make the difference for the Cowboys in their strive to make it to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, and it's not just him being a leader, but when, as far as like if the Cowboys experience some adversity, helping them down the stretch, if they experience some good old Cowboys drama during the season, he can be the glue in the locker room for that. And you're right, not necessarily going to see it in the production because last year Witten had 560 receiving yards or the last time he was on the field. Not quite the same 1,000-plus receiving yard tight end that we're expecting in the past, but those are the ways that he can help them now.
So let's talk about where he ranks all time among tight ends. We just had Gronk retire too, so that's sort of the list started to begin about where he would go all time. Where is Witten on that list, do we think?
You know what's underrated about Jason? He was really good in the run game. He was a really good point of attack blocker. Probably doesn't get enough credit for that. So, you know, in this modern era of the Gronkowskis and the Jimmy Grahams, Tony Gonzalez, he's in that conversation. I always thought Witten didn't get the credit that he deserved as a blocker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's one of the more complete tight ends that we talk about. Again, you know, Mike talked about in this era of the passing game where you flex guys out and all those type of things. He was more of the inline guy, but he could make things happen both in the run and pass game. I mean, he's one of the best, to me, in my opinion, one of the best tight ends in NFL history.
I mean, you're not going to discount Tony Gonzalez, the Sharp brothers, and a lot of Rob Gronkowski or what have you. His name is there particularly just because also the team that he was a part of in the lore of the Cowboys' history and what he has done. So you definitely don't want to discount him in that sense.
So if the Cowboys are going to make a deep playoff run, you mentioned earlier, Damien, you thought that they may. What kind of a role do you see Jason Witten having in 2019?
Well, listen, I think it's going to be more of off-the-field type things that's going to help propel the Dallas Cowboys. Because remember, you're talking about a team that I feel like has a bunch of weapons on both sides of the football. So they're not necessarily incumbent on needing a bunch of production from Jason Witten. It's more the leadership and the intangibles that he'll bring to the table that will help this young nucleus maybe get over the hump as they get down to the main stretch.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, look, let's face it. You don't think Jason Garrett wants the ball going to Ezekiel Elliott and Amari Cooper. You don't want the ball going to this, 37-year-old tight end coming out of retirement. So from a weapon standpoint, he should be the third or fourth option. Again, I think his production will be more felt off the field than on the field in terms of his presence. But, I mean, look, they're built, through Cooper, through Zeke, Dak Prescott. I think he's a fourth, fifth option at best.
And it's not just getting over the hump, but at what point in the postseason. The good thing is under Dak Prescott, they have gotten to the playoffs in 2 of the last 3 years. Even with Tony Romo, it took him 6 years in between playoff appearances. So you're hoping with the addition of Jason Witten, as you mentioned, with Jason Garrett being on the clock and just the fire that the owner is putting under everybody, that Jason Witten can be that last little piece that helps him not just get to the, the wild card round, the division round, but beyond that and hopefully beyond that.
All right, NFL Live, Monday through Friday on ESPN.